Okay. So this is the Microsoft version of the game. I'm wanting to jump in and take a look at stuff and see... I'm not timing it, I don't need to wait for things. I want to test a few things. So for one, the crafting menu is different, which I could have showed in my base. First things first. So, does Super Seaglide still work? Seemingly, yes. That's a good start, at least from a flooded moon pool. Next question would be... let's lose it. Down here, let's set up a base. There. There. Basically just set it up as if I were doing a survival run. Over here, grab a few more of those. Shouldn't need to drop any though. Good, so it floods that. Normally I would also die and respawn in here. Flooded base. Fabricator. Here we can see the crafting menu is very different. That's going to get very confusing like that. I get it, it's for console. But it does make the positioning of things kind of annoying. They also seem too small. I don't know, maybe it's the same, but it feels like it's more condensed. And if you were going to swap to that sort of pattern instead of vertical, you didn't need to make these smaller. They kind of cascade from large, medium, small, when in actual fact, these could be smaller and then go down because you're not needing to differentiate between as many of them. So that's kind of annoying. It's going to make misclicking a lot easier, I think. I don't know. Probably won't matter because no one's really going to run on this game mode, I don't think. Let's do that. So, in flooded base, okay, we still have Super Seaglide, let's lose it. Let's go back inside. No Super Seaglide. There we go. Okay, so the important thing to note there, and it does happen occasionally even on just the most recent patch, if you're too low down, you still got the water over the goggles. Is that fine? No, that's not fine. So got the water over my goggles as if it was kind of out of water and then in water again. Yeah, but I think what you can't actually see is a small bubble at the top appearing. I can actually interact with the soul pad. I don't know what I'm meant to be doing with it, but if I'm at the top of the base... Nope, just as bad. Top of the base. Let it sit. No, okay, so Super Seaglide is tricky, it seems. It did work. It was working. Maybe if we were like right up next to the hatch. Still not there. Interesting. And now we have it again. I don't know what I did differently. But now I have it. So sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. Which is not good enough. It's not reliable enough. So, non-creative glitched modes, because we'll test. We'll see whether or not it's reliable in the moon pool still. We jump on and go up and then down. Oh, hello. We don't get it even from this. What about right up in the middle? No. So it seems that once it's flooded, it's really flooded, and unlike a normal compartment, you can't deconstruct it when you're in it. Oh, and now we have it. Interesting. Can we figure out why we got it when we didn't before? So if we just go up and down. Oh, now I've got it again. In, come up, go down. We do have it again. Something is strange with this game version. Got it straight away that time from the base, but it definitely didn't give it to me before. Anyway, well, let's not just get bogged down on just testing that. The fact that it's inconsistent is kind of good enough to know. Yes, we could solve why, but let's be honest, for glitched runs, you're probably going to be downpatching anyway. You are able to downpatch using Steam and specifying a beta code. I was really hoping to find some more metal salvage just to test out some drop rates. Oh, I have way too much crap in me, of course. Get rid of all that. I do need all of that. Oh, good, contraband. Okay, so what was that first one? That was not contraband. I want to only test contraband. That's cool. I can let you pick that up. Well, you didn't drop a tooth, but that in itself doesn't tell me anything. What I need is like a steady stream of dogs picking up lots of contraband. So then I'll be able to tell whether or not they've fixed the metal thing. I doubt it, but that would be interesting. No one's going to be doing a glitched run on this, it seems. I very much doubt, especially since the out-of-bound stuff I still need to test, but probably is also screwed up. It's going to be at least as bad as current patch anyway, and it's certainly not going to be better. It'll probably be worse. The same stuff may work, but it may not. Testing the cure clip's going to be a bit annoying. I guess we can just zoom down to the PCF. Where's a good amount of dogs? Okay, well, if we just drop those 4. Let's see if he comes over. Yes, good. Noted. Which in itself is not conclusive because it is still 24%, 25% drop rate regardless. We'll give him a few tries, that's for sure. Good old college try. He's at least likely to juggle these. Yeah, that's good. I'm just going to sit down here. We're in creative, so he shouldn't come after us. He might go chasing fish, but let's just wait. I mean, it's going to be a bit of a crapshoot, really. It's not the greatest test in the world because he'll either not drop anything, which is inconclusive, or he will, which will be more conclusive. Ooh, someone else is joining the fray. But I feel that that's like 5 or 6 collections now. If nothing drops after a good, I don't know, 20 or so, then that's probably conclusive enough. Nothing there. Nothing there. So that's about 8. That's 9. 10. Unfortunately, those other ones have stolen the metals. There's now only a couple here. 11. Oh god, that map is horrific. Jeez. And I noticed they still didn't separate to be like alternate mode for the map and just right click for the light. So they've made it even more obnoxious. And the light is still the sickly blue instead of a nice bright white. So all the things that they could be doing to make the game better, they're not doing. for a casual perspective. I don't really mind them fixing glitches, to be perfectly honest, though it does bug me when it's not things that really make much of a difference for a player. I mean, if they're not going to fix the fundamental thing of you being in a moon pool and it flooding and you being able to get out, then not really fixing anything, are you? By making other ways of it not working different. Well, that's a lot of juggles, and I'm not seeing anything from it, so I'm just going to conclude from that Metal 4 still broken, which is not surprising. Let's see, where should we go next? We should just... we could try the QEP stuff. Actually, no, we'll try a cure clip. Let's check out the Aurora.
Depth 90 meters, leading to an unknown environmental biome.
Now, if the maintenance hatch is closed, we have a big problem. But I'm fairly sure that's open. Yep, so maintenance hatch, still open. At least until the Aurora explodes. Okay, then we come down here. Here's the drive bay, much easier to see when it's not covered in radiation. I wonder if there's a way to clip out of bounds on this side of things. I might not want to because there's fire there, but... no. There is the way around the other side though. We'll see if that still works for the sake of maybe not. So, not that repair drive core is a much run category, but the way to clip out of bound, or clip inbounds rather, appears to be broken. Because it was somewhere around here and it was reasonably consistent. Fairly sure it's this side of things. Was it here? No, that's the fire again. It was definitely around that other side, because it was the far side from where you came in. Okay, so that doesn't work anymore. That's interesting. Let's do this. I don't know if it was ever really... oh yeah, that's right.
Power restored. All primary systems online.
Gravity forgot that it existed for a second there. So I'm used to... oh, here we go. Let's just pop up around here. Now, I'm gonna guess that this won't work because I suspect it'll be the same issue. Oh, yeah. Same issue with current patch. Well, this is fun. So gravity forgets that it exists again, which is amazing. Can we still hop up onto here at least? Okay. Oh yeah, your tool is now out when you're running, which is great when you're using it. Okay, this still works. Which is great when you're using a flashlight, but it's weird when you're using a Seaglide, because my word, it looked weird. Okay, so we're not going to be able to get out of here again though easily, because let's just do this one instead, because this doesn't work even on current patch. Yep. So we do have a propulsion cannon, so we could try and get ourselves up to there again. Where's a small box? Okay, yeah, that doesn't work very well. Actually, that's a good point. Does propulsion cannon flight even still work at all? Just drop that there, stand and pick up. I was wanting to move a little bit. The knife is always a little bit finicky. It's usually pretty reliable. There's just too much stuff in here. I think it's getting caught on. Okay, well, probably time to cheat, to be honest. Can we still enable the console? We can. So console percent is still on. I guess we could just warp back. Trying to remember what the command is. You know what? Let's just look down and go warp forward 10. Not far enough. There we go. Okay. Does it go to Aquarium?
Passing 100.
Yes, it is.
Oxygen efficiency.
Oh, it's the top of it though. Well, I guess we listen to the speech. We already know that the barrier skip at the front of the PCF is not going to work.
Are you here to play? Others came here once.
Wrong way.
They built these walls.
Actually, no, because I need
They
2
played
ion
alone.
cubes.
They bored me. Now
What's our
they're
speed
gone.
like anyway?
And instead, we have you. We are
11,
curious
still, yeah.
whether you swim with the current or fight against it as they did.
The lighting of the sharks is weird. Are the walls going to disappear still? Doesn't look like it. We'll try going behind the... It's just the lighting is like the lava zone lighting, which is what was happening when the walls were disappearing another time. But the walls still seem to be there. We'll try going behind the portal, because that was a pretty consistent way to make the walls disappear previously. I should have just used the console to give myself the iron crystals, but whatever. Where's the way up here?
The vegetation may be offsetting this
Yoink.
environmental deficit.
It just feels more sluggish, even though it clearly isn't. It's the same speed.
Environment scans indicate the water here is rich with a rare
Activate that.
which depends on the organic development
Up fast.
from around it.
We don't seem to get the skip behavior.
My young need to hatch, to play outside this place. We have been here
If you
so
go up
long.
really quickly
The
from
others built a passage
this
to
position,
reach
she
the
usually just
world
kind of
outside.
snaps around to the
I
portal.
asked them for this freedom.
You can trigger it reasonably
They
reliably
could
normally,
not hear me.
but I don't know.
If
doesn't
you
seem to
help
work.
us, I will
But it
give
could have
you
just been
freely
bad
what
position.
the others tried in vain to take.
We should give ourselves the hatching enzyme now, eh? That's not gonna work.
All primary systems online.
There we go. Thought I saw it drop somewhere. No, we don't need our knife anyway, hopefully. Oh. Okay, so that does still work. Good. Boink. Need to be out of the water in order to actually make this. That's so weird being in the wrong place, but whatever. So now we can do this. And this. And hop out like we normally would. Oh, it's going to check if the walls disappeared.
With the
That's fine, we can do that afterwards.
opened, my young can leave this place.
I want to check whether or not the
First, they
cure
must feel the time is
works or
right
not.
and break free of their shells.
Here. Oh, I have Super
This
Seaglide, that
is
means I
what the
can't
others could
bump
not
it with
force
Super
from me.
Seaglide.
To you, I give
Let's
the
just
secret
quickly just make
willingly.
another one of these then and not flood it. Oh, I still have Super Seaglide.
Detecting
Up, down.
All primary systems online.
This.
Welcome aboard.
There we go. The water barrier seems to just not work sometimes, which is weird. Okay, so let's just try nudging this closer here. And then get the right angle. No, that's not close enough. Bump. And then get the right angle. Gotta look down from the side. There we go. Okay, so that still works. I remember one time I was trying to look down on it straight down and it threw me to the side instead and I didn't actually get out of bounds. And back. Cool, so we can still get out of bounds that way. May as well check the rest while we're here. Gotta kind of slide up this bit here. Gotta be careful because you can't actually see the out of bounds bit there. Above the portal. Above the ramp room. And down here.
The facilities control room lies beyond this door.
Okay, so that still works. I wonder if the reason that the Super Seaglide didn't disengage is a similar reason why it was having difficulties engaging earlier. Whether it's just something to do with the water barrier is a bit weird now. Through here, we can grab all this stuff. Come through here. Sploosh. Sploosh. Let's go through and see if the walls still disappear in the PCF. I'm going to be really disappointed if that doesn't work, or if that still screws up, because that was a pretty glaring thing in the original Big Little Patch, or whatever it was. And then they didn't fix it again, even though they'd shifted out other things. F for Big Mama. Now, do the walls disappear? They do. Seriously? You'll mess around with other things. You'll make table coral really annoying. And all manner of other things. But you won't pay attention to your geometry. Because it is not hard to understand. Oh, also, if you come out of the wrong place and end up inside the wall, you're screwed. It's not hard to imagine a casual player just going a little bit too far away from the center of the room. Which seems to be all it is. We go back here and, whoop, they're gone again. It's reliable. And you used to be able to go over to the corners as well. Where you could just like touch a particular part outside as well and it would screw up. Okay, so the corners doesn't make it go away. But behind does. Let's go around the outside a bit. See if we can diagnose where it is that it's going to disappear. Maybe it's just that spot now. So it might have been partially fixed, because it used to be that even just hanging around these bits here, everything would go away. But the most obvious place of triggering it was just behind the portal. Because I just kind of go around there and mess about while waiting for things. Okay, so no, the rest of it seems okay. Maybe. All these little nooks and crannies that never actually pay any attention to normally. The lighting is still weird. Like, it's still getting bits of lava zone lighting here and there, which is confusing. So that's still a problem. But at least the walls haven't been disappearing as much. Over here. Still fine. I believe that was usually fine up this bit normally anyway. And let's pop down here. Just doing a little tour at this point. This cool, like, almost like a... Oh, there we go. See, now, this is something that really illustrates my concern. This caught my eye. This really interested me. The fact that, because you've got these kind of green uplights around the place, this is almost like a heat lamp. And it kind of lights this area here. This would be a fun place to just like put a little base. There's like a sea crown underneath it and stuff. Get too close. Oh, what's that? It's all gone. And if I go up, I'm now inside where the pillar should be. And if I go forward a bit, is it going to trap me? It is. Oh look, I'm now stuck. I've now soft locked. Except for the fact that I can at least use the development console. But if I was on console, I would not be able to do that.
Unlike other alien facilities, scans indicate this
So I can free myself. Not everyone has that luxury. Or wants to, because if you enable the console, I believe that you void your achievements in a game. Which is A, bullshit, anyway, quite frankly, because at the end of the day, who cares? They're only achievements. But, yeah. And again, is it something to do with the light, I wonder? Oh, now this is even worse. Now, are things coming back? Okay, things are coming back, but that was a big zone. What happens if I just come in from this way? Does it disappear that quickly? It does. This whole corner is cursed. That's disgusting. It's not even that far from this cave entrance. In fact, it includes that cave entrance. So if I wanted to head over and explore that cave, it's just this whole corner is just screwed up. Oh, look. The world has disappeared. Come on, guys. You can do better than this. You've had years. It is literally years since the patch that broke all of that stuff came out. Wow. Feels like it's gotten worse. I feel it has gotten worse. So, this side is fine. The side away from Big Mama is fine. Or at least it's better. But the side where she is orked, to say the least. And I don't have Super Seaglide active or anything like that. That would just make it happen quicker. See if we can get it back. Okay, I actually heard a splash there. Yeah, okay, which I wasn't hearing reliably. And there we go. Which I wasn't hearing reliably before. Well, that's very disappointing. Anyway, what else is there to test? Some out of bounds clipping, I guess. You're gonna... Normally it appears in front of you. There it is. Okay, well that still works at least. It's not like below zero where it tells you that, oh, you have to be at the surface. Which is another really stupid thing. Mabel there just chilling. Okay, so that still works. So, if you get Super Seaglide reliably, you can do an any % run on Microsoft version. At least for now. With some caveats. There is definitely some strange behaviour. Just inconsistent behaviour. What else is there that I should check? Not sure. Might not be much more, I think. Oh, we can check Skyrays. Let's check Skyray behaviour. Oh, that map. Seriously. It's changing size. It's like... It's... What is it doing? I'm trying to figure out what it's even doing. See, when you're static, you can almost make out some details. When you're moving, it is very hard to tell what's actually going on. So that dot is where I'm meant to be? Where's the geyser in relation to that? There it is. Okay, there is a hole there, isn't there? Yeah. It's like it's loading up more what's behind me, not where I'm going. It should be loading up... Yeah, is it based on momentum? I don't know how this map works, but it works wrong. Like, it should be loading up more of what's in front of me. Instead, it's just flickering and loading up more what's in... Yeah, if I go right, it loads up more of the left. If I go left, it loads up more of the right. What? Let's lose Super Seaglide, just in case. So that can't be blamed. Right, so now it's more static. So it is the increased from Super Seaglide that screws it up, in which case, whatever. It's still very loud, it's still very brash. It's slightly easier to interpret than it used to be, maybe, I'm not sure. It was never very useful for me, I never really used it. Because once you actually get into a confusing cave system, then it all just melds together. You can't zoom, you can't do anything with it. So, like, if we go down here... Bad example, because it's not a very complex system, I guess.
Be advised, a common complication for cave divers is...
I remember just trying to use it in a position that was very confusing, and it just adding nothing and just making things worse. The fact that you see things underneath as well is kind of gross. Yeah, don't know. Anyway, separate controls, please. You did it in BZ.
Of the Auroras. Drive cool.
Okay, so I got Super Seaglide back reliably that time. I don't think there's too much else to check. We'll just pop up top and play with some Skyrays, I guess. Hi guys. I guess because I'm invisible, so it doesn't care about me. Okay, well, that is the Microsoft version. It works. You can do a run with it. I'm not sure if you'd want to. Glitched-wise, most of them still work, so if it's the only option you have, if you have Game Pass, you don't want it on Epic, you don't want to pay to get it on Steam, it works. You can play the game. There's some things, some differences that we as mods need to know about. The fact that the crafting menu does look different, so it's not just because someone is using a game mod, which is previously what we just assumed. It is now different, and it's going to continue to become more different as they roll out the updates. Metal 4 is still broken. Most of the Out of Bounds stuff all still works. Super Seaglide can be unreliable, but seems to have gotten better. When I first tried it, it just flat out didn't work. Let's just do one last hurrah. Pomp pomp. Straight away. Okay, so yeah, inconsistent. Definitely didn't work very well to start with. You can still despawn some things, can you? You can't get rid of that. I don't know if you ever used to be able to. I should probably try despawning a wreck, actually, come to think of it. That's a pretty pivotal part of the glitched run. The current patch Aurora clip still works. Okay, you can still deconstruct wrecks. There's not much in there because I have all the blueprints, but... Right, well... Yeah, actually, what speed am I going? Yeah, about 25. Yeah, we got that about right. Oh, other thing, I guess. Seamoth behavior. I'm curious about that. That keeps just disappearing. That's really weird. I want to test out the triplane behavior. I never actually tried dual fab as well, actually, come to think of it. Because I know that that's something that doesn't work properly, like in BZ. So if we do that, that does work. It looks weird, but it does work. Okay. It looks like you can't craft anything. But it does actually set it going. Okay. It just shows as grey, which is kind of weird. Seamoth, where did you go? There. Let's test out some triplaning. Honestly feels kind of sluggish. I don't know, maybe the mouse sensitivity doesn't transfer through properly. Definitely doesn't feel as snappy. Oh wow, there we go, okay. Just popping my mouse up one sensitivity level does make a pretty big difference. Now let's just keep going a steady line for a bit. So we're getting up to a 19.2 or thereabout average speed. That's exactly what I expect. For comparison, I'll not hold space. Yeah, so now it's 15.94. So it makes a big difference if you can master all three axes of movement simultaneously. It makes a pretty big difference. Navigation takes a bit of practice. Right, well, I don't think there's too much more to test. Duplication glitch. Should we try that, eh? I don't think we tried that yet. So... oh, now my sensitivity's all weighed out. There. Window. Deconstruct. I mean, it lets me do that at least, so that's a promising start. Do that. Oh yeah, that's worked. Though the point at which I'm able to actually interact with it seems to be broken, but do that. Doink. Doink. That's definitely a very good way of doing this. I wonder if there's a similar way that I can do that for glass. How about a glass turny piece? Does that work better? I think it might actually. That's super reliable compared to a tube. Yeah, a tube immediately disappeared. Sometimes comes back. Corner piece. Seems that it's easier to, yeah, like the bit directly in front seems to exist better. That's good to know. I might try that next time I do a run. Okay, so duplication glitch does work. That's good. I think we're sorted. See ya. Areas of concern. Let's just run through in the run. So Mushroom Flood still works, which is fine. Metal Force still broken, which is annoying. SSG does work. Did have some instances where it didn't. You get those on current patch as well, but less frequently. TBD, basically. Cure Clip at the mountain, that works. MVB Clipping still works. Maintenance Hatch still works. Dupe Glitch still works. Most things still work. So same caveats as with current patch, basically, for Steam or Epic. PCF walls still run away, which is really disappointing. And the new crafting menu is kind of gross. Be nice if you could just have the option of which one you liked, instead of them just pushing out things that no one necessarily asked for, especially for PC. But even on console, I feel that if there might be people who prefer the verticality rather than the grid. Yeah, it's just the approach that seems to be taken of, we know what's best, we're just going to push this change and make it different. Even on different versions on the same platform. PC, you've got Epic, Steam, and Microsoft. They are now different, which is very strange. And I guess it's probably all going this direction, which is not ideal. So I'm glad that I have an old version on Steam that I can play instead, because they don't seem to be doing much to improve the game, unfortunately. Performance-wise, current patch is better than old, to an extent, but still not what a game should be like, really. Anyway, I'm ranting. You've heard enough. Yeah, play the game anyway. Still a great game, but I would recommend play it on Steam. It's not too expensive. Get it on sale, often 50% off, and use the code Speedrunners to play the old version where things work better. Yeah, and like and subscribe and all of that stuff. Ta-ta.